late because we just saw Game 7 overtime. 7 minutes of overtime, in fact. Me and Victor here had to suffer through it all, and now we've got to cast another game. What game are we going to be casting this time, Victor?
We are casting eMerge Charlie once again, coming back into this second game. They are up against Irrelevant Esports Black. It is going to be an interesting one. Oh, without further ado, we're running late on schedule, so let's just jump straight into the predictions. Who do you think will take this game then?
Sorry, I was about to cough there, but going off past records, in the Division 2.2, ILV Black were 4th and eMerge Charlie were 1st. eMerge Charlie beat ILV Black 3-1 in game week number 9, so I think my prediction is pretty firmly going to be eMerge Charlie. Hopefully they'll be able to sweep them and get things back on track.
Indeed, I do also see eMerge Charlie taking this game. Nothing against the Irrelevant Esports boys over there, but eMerge Charlie are coming into this game. Of course, they lost against Rocket Core Pluto earlier, like we saw, 4-3. It was a close game. They played very good, but let's see how they perform this game.
Yes, and we've got our boss Cheesecake playing, so we better say nice things about him or he might just kick us off the broadcast mid-game. We are going to be live into this one. Vloin's the man to watch for eMerge Charlie. Played great last game. Sakram and... oh no, they've actually made a switch. It's Heatsy now. They've gotten rid of Stankovic, I think his name was. Interesting to see that one.
I do believe it is because Stankovic being away, so they had to use their sub. So it's going to be an interesting performance now to see how the sub will do in this game, in this series actually.
Well, it might be a good thing considering I think Stankovic plays very similar to Sakram, so maybe having Heatsy playing, he might be a bit of a different player that might add something a little bit more unique. Speaking of the other team, Cheesecake almost had a great chance to open up the scoring here as we've had a bit of a quiet minute. Both teams having a bit of an offense, but no real threatening shots coming in as of yet, as Sakram caught a little bit defensively there in his own corner. Thankfully the shot is wide, he's able to recover to make the save from the second one, and Heatsy's able to sweep that one clear. So tentative moments in this game number 1 for both teams. I guess it's worth pointing out that eMerge Charlie, they lost their last game, so they might be feeling a little bit nervous that way as well.
Indeed, it's, what Irrelevant Esports Black are looking for, maybe, to see that eMerge Charlie is just, depressed and a bit, kicking themselves now and then because they lost to Rocket Core Pluto. But it is eMerge Charlie we're talking about here. They are very dominant. They have already showed up against Rocket Core Pluto, but Rocket Core Pluto were the ones who came back. They had their heads up until the end. That overtime was very exhausting, but nonetheless, it is Heatsy RL who strikes first for eMerge Charlie. The sub is a super sub, possibly.
Well, I guess that's the great thing about Heatsy is he's not burdened by the baggage of what happened in the first game. He's coming into this one fresh. He's feeling completely new. He's a new man here, and it's a 1-0 advantage. All of his own work here, and Cheesecakes tries to start this one off with a bang. The shot from him, saved by Sakram. So they are looking to start their own attack. Rattles flicks it towards Cheesecake, who's intercepted there. Decent start by Cheesecake. Silent Panda, a name I haven't said yet. He's looking to get in the action. His shot is fairly easily saved by Blinds, though.
Let me just point out that Cheesecake in chat just asked for a remake, a lobby remake, so I don't know what is going to happen. Possibly a lobby remake after this. Maybe Luke Foss will be setting that up, but nonetheless, Rattles trying to sneak one by, but can't do so. But so far, both teams just playing more on the defense, just being more calm. Like every game one is just trying to find an opening, trying to create openings as well, just learning what the other teams are doing.
Yeah, and this one's been an awful lot lower scoring than the first game of the last series, which had 9 goals in it. This one's just got 1. Still 2 minutes, but I doubt we're going to see 8 goals in 2 minutes, but we may well. Cheesecake looks like the man who might get things started for ILV Black. He seems to be the main offensive outlet so far. He's unable to find a goal as of yet. but I would be shocked if it ends up with him not being able to get a single goal in this game one.
That is all of the defenders that ILV had, but Sakram can't sneak one by. They are still leading by 1, but nonetheless, let's not just, it's of course a bit challenging, or not challenging, a new roster and everything for eMerge Charlie, playing with their sub. Probably, they're using this game to learn how they should rotate, how they should play together with Heatsy and everything. Just testing out new things, so they're not being that aggressive as you mentioned before. What was it, 8 or 5 goals, sorry, in the first game in the last series?
It was 5 scored by eMerge Charlie. It was 9 in total, 4 for Rocket Corp Pluto in that game. But at the moment, I think, Stankovic, he was sort of an offensive outlet. He was a sort of poacher. He would be the man who tapped in goals that were normally set up by Flowns, and they're sort of lacking that at the moment. We saw that pass from Flowns not able to be capitalised on by Sakram. And with 30 seconds on the clock, it is actually eMerge Charlie, the team that's suffering a little bit defensively. That flick on, though, leaves them once again severely understaffed at the back, and that could have been a chance for Flowns. It is going to be a chance for Sakram. That shot's wide. Probably should have put that one in. That would have sealed the deal for eMerge Charlie. As it stands with 15 seconds on the clock, they might just let this one slip here.
10 seconds left on the clock. Brilliantly played by both teams. They're just, less aggressive than what the last series were. But that's a drop down by Rattle's Cheesecake. Out of nowhere, makes a miracle happen. We are going to a game 1 overtime.
I was about to say, I said about Cheesecake, and I would be shocked if he didn't score at the end of game 1. It was almost true there, but he gets one at the last possible moment. He gets the ball off the pinch into the right-hand side. I thought it was a great shot initially by Rattles, just not able to quite about go in, and they might just have claimed it in overtime. The follow-up isn't there either. Cheesecake on the third gets that one, and it's a 10-second turnaround from 1-0 down to 2-1 up, but it's enough to see ILV Black take game number 1, and you've got to be crushed if you're an eMerge Charlie fan.
What happened in those last few seconds? What was that? Losing. They were losing throughout the whole game until the very last second, where Rattles drops it down to Cheesecake, and Cheesecake makes that equalizing goal, and then later on in overtime grabs that last goal to finish it up for ILV. What is this? This is going to be an interesting series. Oh god.
Oh god is definitely, I feel like, the feeling that will be being spread in that voice chat of eMerge Charlie. They've got to be feeling very, very frustrated here, considering how their evening has gone so far. They'll be hoping for a turnaround in game number 2. We are going to be waiting for a lobby remake to come through. So we have a little bit of talking time. I think maybe, do you want to talk through what happened in the last game, just for those that missed it?
Indeed. So the first game of the series, eMerge Charlie against Irrelevant Esports Black. Heatsy subbing in for Stankovic as he currently is away. He played for Stankovic, playing for in eMerge Charlie earlier on against Rocket Corp Pluto, losing 4-3, unfortunately. Now Rocket Corp Pluto is facing Rise Esports, by the way, in the other stream. Nonetheless, Heatsy, the sub-in, just comes out of nowhere and grabs that first goal for eMerge Charlie for the whole game until the very last second, where Rattles drops it down Justin style into Cheesecake, where Cheesecake then equalizes the game. We go into overtime, 11 seconds in, and Cheesecake, the man, scores and takes the game home for Irrelevant Esports Black.
Yeah, and I think we might just be getting into game number 2. This is going to be one to whet your appetite going into what will be about dinner time in a lot of places across Europe. Both of these teams not wanting to go out. Loser goes out. One team having won their previous game, and ILV Black sweeping their previous opponents, and then eMerge Charlie after losing in game number 7. both teams a lot on the line for both of them, and it would be incredibly frustrating for eMerge Charlie, having gone 8-1 in the regular season, to lose both playoff games in what has been completely crushing fashion, as I think we're just waiting on one more player to join the server, and I think that might be him, as we are good to go. Game number 2, ILV Black, they are going to be in the orange corner, going up against eMerge Charlie in the blue.
Just to mention, this is now a do or die. The team that loses will go home without anything in this playoffs. They will still be in Division 2, of course, in the next season, sorry. They will stay in Division 2 if they lose. But nonetheless, eMerge Charlie, they've worked up so hard to get into this playoffs, this beautiful, exciting playoffs, and to have that thrown away this series, that's gonna haunt them while they sleep.
Yeah, it will, unless they can turn things around here with a victory, as they are going to be getting the ball going. On the offense, ETRL unable to make something work there. It's Vlowns to miss the ball. 2 players on the defense. It's actually going to be hit towards his own net by Sakram, able to be dealt with by Heatsy. So at the moment, a bit of pinball. Both the early stages of both games so far have been a lot more tentative than what we saw in the Rocket Corp Pluto game. Both teams taking the time to feel each other out and sort of set the tempo of this game number 2.
So far, both teams are just trying to find an opening once again, just playing more calmly. But of course, Irrelevant Esports Black, they're the more confident side of the two, as Cheesecake already, scoring 2 goals last game. That important equalizer and the goal that made them win game 1 and take it home in game 1. But as I speak, Rattles with a shot a bit too high, but Vlowns now sends it away. What a save by him. Indeed, Cheesecake! Oh, it's so unfortunate. Bouncing out the corner. I hate to see those.
Well, there's going to be a bit of a somber mood in the eMerge camp, and now they're going to have to try and deal with the live wire that is Cheesecake. He's opened his account in game number 2. He scored a goal with 0 seconds in game 1. This one's a little bit earlier, but they still count nonetheless. It would have been a great save by Heatsy. Instead, Cheesecake able to put that one over the line, takes the 1-0 advantage here. And ILV Black, they're asking a lot of questions that eMerge Charlie, I don't know if they have it in them. They're probably exhausted now. They got to try and find stamina from somewhere to answer the offensive pressure.
Heatsy seems to be the only one in eMerge Charlie currently with a lot of stamina, a lot of energy as well, to keep the team hopes alive. Of course, it is 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. It is anyone's game, but as I speak, Sakram tries to sneak one in. Now that's another clear by Cheesecake, and it will go in 2-0 for Irrelevant Esports Black.
Relevant Esports Black are looking to profit on eMerge's downtrodden demeanour, and they're doing so very easily so far. It's 2-0 in game number 2. Dominant showing so far in this second game. And eMerge Charlie, who would have thought, they've fallen so far from how they've played in league play so far this season. And it could get worse here. Oh, it might just, as Vlowns is able to scramble a save away from Silent Panda's bump and shot. They could get the offense here. Heatsy's been the man for them. The only man who's really shown up in this game so far. He's not able to make anything work.
Both teams now currently, again, a bit shaky in the defense by Irrelevant Esports Black there. Like, it looks like a pile of cockroaches on one corner, but nonetheless, no goals have been secured by eMerge Charlie. I keep forgetting the name of eMerge Charlie. Nonetheless, Cheesecake now with the ball tries to go for a pass, but Heatsy is there with a block. At least both teams currently they look comfortable. Like, Irrelevant Esports Black, they look very comfortable coming into this game already, lagging. I believe it was Cheesecake who was lagging, and yeah, for the most of the game they were losing until the very end, and that win possibly brought some momentum for them and eMerge Charlie coming into this game, or coming into the series actually, with a loss in their mind against Rocket Core Pluto, but nonetheless.
Yeah, this just seems to be a completely different beast. This eMerge side feels like they're so changed. I don't know whether it's the personnel switch or if it's literally just in their own heads. Blounce, it feels like, has done next to nothing compared to the maestro technician that he was in the last game. As they look to have a goal in this game. Sukram's shot is saved by Silent Panda. Heatsy looking to follow this one up. Unable to do so. Heatsy's been pretty solid in the defense. Offensively, he's not really had the chances yet. But do you think there's any way back in this with 30 seconds to go, or do you think this is looking like a good night moment? As I say that, okay, that's a flick away from the net.
I mean, it doesn't look like they will score this game, but if they keep their heads up in for the next few games, it's a possibility that they can bring it back with the sub as well. They're comfortable with him now, I hope. It is still the beginning of the series. Game number 2. 2-0 for Irrelevant Esports Black. It's very tense to see how they will respond in for this next game. Irrelevant Esports Black grabs game number 2, while eMerge Charlie still chilling with 0 over there in the series score. But nonetheless, eMerge Charlie, they have to wake up.
I mean, I just want to thank eMerge Charlie. They know how difficult it is for Slipstream to try and deal with this schedule getting messed up so far. So they've decided they're going to take one for the team and throw in playoffs. They've really not come onto this server at all. I feel a bit bad for Heatsy getting subbed in, and maybe he might have a bit of the blame pointed at him, but he's definitely been the best player for eMerge Charlie across both these games so far. Narrowly unable to save Cheesecake's shot, and at the moment, the ILV Black, they just look a cut above from eMerge Charlie, who I do feel for a little bit, considering they've been going strong for well over an hour here.
eMerge Charlie looking, yeah, of course, we have to give them some credit for staying strong for this whole hour. You know, that 7-minute game 7 overtime was very exhausting, and to lose that, of course, you know, is very devastating. But nonetheless, they still have the momentum, they still have the drive. These two games were very close between the two teams. But we move over to game number 3. eMerge Charlie up against Irrelevant Esports Black. Will eMerge pull off what Rocket Core Pluto did, or will Irrelevant Esports Black just walk away with a sweep?
Well, it's the best of... Okay, what? Cheesecake? You've done so well. What's happened there? I won't criticize him too strongly because he might have my job, but he's dribbled the ball. Oh no, it wasn't even Cheesecake. Apologies, Cheesecake. It was Silent Panda. He's made a very noisy error. He's hit the ball, pinched it into his own net. Have you got anything to add to that craziness?
Apart from that you might lose your job? No, not really. As we speak, Silent Panda comes back with the redemption from that kickoff and puts one in by Cheesecake's pass.
Oh, Silent Panda. He's atoned for his error there incredibly quickly. He's done it. 10 seconds on the clock. Things are already 1-1 here. Both teams with a pretty strange start, as they're going to be getting this ball rolling again. At the moment, I would still say momentum will be firmly with ILV Black, despite that error for the first goal.
The momentum does look to be with Irrelevant Esports Black still, as they just straight off that first kickoff pulls out a backboard pass, which later on Silent Panda just comes in and equalizes the game. And Irrelevant Esports Black just looking dominant, going for they're very physical now as well, going for a lot of demos and bumps on the eMerge Charlie side. But of course, it is Irrelevant Esports Black, sorry, that has that boost in momentum. They have more energy as well, though both teams came in from the losers bracket. Well, Irrelevant Esports Black kept, you know, beating out who was it? Ascension Draco in a sweep, I believe. Staying alive in this playoffs, of course, that's gonna drive them into playing better in this game. You know, walking away from game number 1 with a sweep. That's a momentum, you know, switch for you.
Well, I mean, you know what definitely isn't good for momentum is losing a game 7 overtime, and that's what ILV Charlie, or not ILV Charlie, eMerge Charlie. I've created a new fusion team. eMerge Charlie, they're walking with that weight on their back. They're not even able to take any solace from that weird own goal we saw as they were immediately conceding, and they've conceded another. It's Cheesecake up in the air. I don't know if that one was going in or if we saw another own goal, but it was a good aerial by him. Oh no.
No, it was not going in, Blown! No, helping out Irrelevant Esports Black. I believe we found the Mafia over here. But sadly, this is not Mafia, this is playoffs, Division 2 in ECC Season 8. Come on, boys. We're not playing Mafia anytime soon.
Well, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that seems to be the Lions story at the moment. So good in the first series, it's really gone downhill in game 2, and you can't blame him. The momentum, Heatsy with another perfect save. Just like last game, perfect save, still followed through by Cheesecake, who's just styling on people here.
What was that? That was, how many touches was that? Like 4?
Don't know, back to fourth again. And once again, it's a restart with another goal conceded by eMerge Charlie. They seem to be firmly on the ropes here. I think they need to just, even if, you know, this is where the coach would walk in, do the big T sign, start the timeout. They don't have that luxury though. They've got to play for another 2.5 minutes here. Sakram and co looking to try and find any way to get back into this.
So far, eMerge Charlie looks to be slacking, but when I speak, Cheesecake unfortunately can't find any contact on the ball. It just cheats past it as Rattles now is forced to make a clear, Sakram helping him in the process. But nonetheless, Heatsy has been showing some very good skill, but as I speak, Silent Panda will just capitalize on the touch that Heatsy got.
This is scary. This feels like it might turn into a massacre here as we have the 4th goal go in. I know you look at the scoreboard, but you see eMerge have 1 goal, but you have to remember they touched the ball at the kickoff. They didn't touch it again. That was basically a gifted goal to them. Cheesecake and Silent Panda can... Okay, Rattles! He's been probably the quietest player on the server. He's come alive there with an expert save, flipping the ball into the corner. And Flounce is going to try and start an attack that's going to be immediately thwarted. Wow, Rattles, what a save.
What a save by Rattles indeed. That was correct by him, Rattles. We haven't spoken about him that much this whole series, but oh boy, he does catch you off guard when he does appear.
Yeah, definitely. He showed up. He tried to steal that goal from Silent Panda a little while ago, but he has actually got a highlight play of his own, not just trying to leech off someone else's, as they will again be on the attack. Cheesecake combining with Silent Panda, passes to Rattles. Good shot. Vlown's able to clear that one away fairly easily though. Looks to try and dribble past 2 players. He goes for the 3rd. Silent Panda able to recover. That ball's hit awkwardly into the corner. Vlown's flick on will not fall for anyone, as it is hit pretty far away. Heatsy with the heat-seeking missile of a shot. Saved by Cheesecake though with 50 seconds on the clock. The game is looking pretty done, but both teams still going at it, just looking to add to that goal count.
We might see a sweep by Irrelevant Esports Black because the momentum that they're showing, it just screams, we're not going home without another sweep in the series. We're thirsty for more, and thirsty they are. Blue Wolf, your wish for another sweep? Of course you wished for a early sweep from eMerge, but of course from how they are looking, I believe your sweep wish might come true. Just wrong team.
So sad. I feel for eMerge Charlie. The mentality has got to be shot to pieces. I feel bad for them. Genuinely. Oh, never mind. Your O was premature as Vlowns is able to recover. Might be a feel-good moment for him. Where is the Vlowns? We have to send out the bat signal. We need to try and bring him back into the server, as that ball will be another shot. Saved by Sakram, not able to be followed in because it has hit the ground. ILV Black have taken a 3-0 advantage in this series.
I'm still a bit confused of how Silent Panda couldn't put that in. Well, Vlauns was in the way, of course, but holy, that fake sent him. That was incredible show. But nonetheless, we move into game 4. Match point for Irrelevant Esports Black. 1 game away from a sweep. eMerge Charlie, your only option now is to reverse sweep. And that's gonna be difficult to do, considering the mental state of the team currently.
I can't see it happening personally, and I'm someone who'd love to see Lions and Co progress here. They are a good team. They were arguably a better team than Rocket Core Pluto, but at the moment, it's just not going to happen, to be honest. And I think we'll be getting into game number 4. As soon as Lions finishes his team talk, it looks like he's done it now, and so we will be sliding over. And I hope Lions, I assume he's the team captain, I hope he's inspired something between the boys here, and I hope we might see something of a turnaround.
Let's hope for a turnaround indeed. eMerge Charlie, they showed so, they were so dominant last series. What has happened? Apart from the player switch, TT does look very promising nonetheless. But as I speak, Vlauns nearly put one in.
No!
No! That was so close, but that's an open net for Socram. Somehow that miss works out, I guess.
There have been so many moments across both series that will haunt eMerge when they go to sleep tonight. Thankfully, that was not one of them. Socram left with an opportunity he could not possibly miss, and miss he does not. Taps it into the net. And with 4 minutes 48, there's still a long way to go and still a lot of time for ILV Black to get going in this game number 4. And that shot from Rattles could have been a raucous way to get back into it. It is cleared away though by Socram. That shot is over the bar. The follow-in might not be. Heatsy with the good save falling from the sky to make it. This could be something of a turnaround here, as once again it seems that eMerge Charlie there on the attack.
eMerge Charlie looks to be on the attack as well, but the defense by Irrelevant Esports Black is very good as well. That's a shot on target, a bit open. Rattles will finally put his name on the board as he grabs the lead for Irrelevant Esports Black.
I think that's the first goal Rattles has scored all series. It hasn't been a great goal-scoring one for him. He has done a couple of great defensive plays though, so I don't think he'll mind, especially considering how good Cheesecake has been, and Silent Panda has found a few goals as well. So things are leveled up here, and I don't think it'll be long until ILV Black get in the swing of things. Then I'm perfectly right. Here comes Cheesecake. Vlauns with the save. Cheesecake to follow through. He seems to just be a battering ram, able to put the ball in the net, despite if a player saves it. He just keeps going and just puts that ball behind the keeper.
It must be very annoying for eMerge Charlie to play up against someone like Cheesecake, just chasing the ball nonetheless. If you've got the save, if you've got the clear, he's just chasing it, he's always there. But that would dangerously bounce in front of their net, but no one from the blue side is there to capitalize on it.
Yeah, we were talking to Vlauns before the game, and I said he was unlucky, and he said, "Oh no worries, these things happen." I thought he might have been unaffected by it, but I think he must be, considering just how things have deteriorated, and they've conceded yet again. Ball has been hit in from Silent Panda. Cheesecake shot a little bit to the right, straight down the middle, and Vlauns with an impossible save, which he's not able to make. 3-1 the advantage now for ILV Black.
Unfortunate touch by Heatsy as well, just sent it perfectly for Silent Panda, who was just waiting for his prey to come, and indeed did the prey come. The hunter got the prey, and Silent Panda extends the lead for Irrelevant Esports Black. Now Silent Panda, he's been not very silent this game, has he?
Yeah, he's been making quite a racket with how much he's been affecting the scoreboard, shaking things up with goal after goal. Cheesecake as well. I would say they've been two sides of the same coin, but right, this could be it. Vlauns, if you show up, you will have to do better than you did last game, and you did pretty amazing last game. But if you keep going the way you were going in that game, and you add a little 5% to that, we might be seeing a game here. He scored, I think, his first goal of the series, and if he comes online, we might just have a game on our hands.
Indeed, that's what we like to see as well. We want to see eMerge Charlie at least take a game off Irrelevant Esports Black. But as he Silent Panda isn't so silent as he actually is very silent as he sneaks one under Vlauns, and buy him into the open net. 2-goal deficit for Irrelevant Esports Black.
Well, it seems to be Panda time. He scored his third goal, I believe. Nope, it's just his second. Cheesecake and Rattles with one apiece. As they just negate, for the second time, they just negate the goal scored by eMerge Charlie. There might be a chance here with Vlounds with the air dribble. Gets a past one. The keeper is Cheesecake. Easy tap down from him. The pass to Vlounds. He could have turned that one the other way around. He hits a flick that lands once again in the lap of Cheesecake. He'll be starting his own attack here. Good interception though by Vlounds. He's up in the air, loses that 50. So slowly but surely it seems the ball is creeping closer and closer to the net of eMerge Charlie.
Both teams looking promising once again, just going for a shot. Heatsy, as I speak, tries to sneak one by. Vlounds didn't expect that to happen as Cheesecake nearly sneaks one by, but Heatsy gets home in time. Now Rattles gets blocked by Vlounds. That's a shot, but Rattles recovers and grabs that save. Rattles has been doing most of the job. As I was speaking, Vlounds nearly puts one in the wrong net.
I think that would have been emblematic of how this game has gone if he'd put that one in his own net.
Yep, indeed. It would have been very funny to see as well. But very happy for eMerge Charlie that didn't happen. But nonetheless, Rattles has been doing most of the work for Irrelevant Esports Black, like defensive wise. And on the offense, he did get that equalizer as well to even things out. But as I speak, Silent Panda out of nowhere will score off Rattles' backboard pass.
Yeah, great shot from Silent Panda off the ground, off the crossbar into the net, and it's 5-2 the scoreline. I didn't see a way back in game number 4, and it looks like, just seems like eMerge cruising into another defeat here, and I feel like it was inevitable they were going to lose this game after game 1, where they just got a bit wrecked at the very end in overtime. I just felt like it's been a downtrend ever since, and they've conceded another one. Cheesecake with his second. Silent Panda's a hat-trick. Cheesecake wants one as well. Silent Panda's turn provider this time, and 6-2 with a minute to go.
A bit of confusion there by the eMerge Charlie defense side. 4-goal deficit with 1 minute left. I don't think the mental state of the eMerge boys is there to keep things alive. But as I speak, Sakura nearly going for another one, but gets sent away by Cheesecake. But wow.
Yeah, it has just been. This game feels cruel to watch. eMerge Charlie, they were never all here. They needed a break. They weren't able to reset. They did make a player change. He has been decent defensively, but he's got very little offensive output, and that has just been the thing that's costed them here. And I think if there was a forfeit button in the server, I think eMerge would have hit it a long time ago. Mentally, they're gone, and that's another goal. 5, the gap between the two teams. 20 seconds to go. This one is over, Victor.
Blue Wolf, you do sound a lot depressed here. Are you playing for eMerge, or what is happening?
I just feel bad for them because they're a team that's played so well throughout the regular season. They played so well in the last series, and this game just doesn't. It doesn't really represent how good of a side they are. Vlounds has just not showed up. Failure to launch completely, and they might get a goal here at the end. Heatsy maybe might add one to his pile instead. Cheesecake pulling away. He has already found his hat trick. Why not make it 4? That would mean he scored more than Silent Panda has, and that will definitely be a big boon for him.
Nonetheless, the ball drops. Irrelevant Esports Black do the unthinkable and sweep the team that was on top of the table. Irrelevant Esports Black gets the revenge on eMerge. But I do feel bad for Heatsy, being the sub for eMerge Charlie. He's probably kicking himself right now. You know, he probably thinks it's his fault that they lost, but come on, don't be so harsh.
I mean, this has just been a terrible, terrible day for eMerge Charlie, and it went from bad to worse there. Game 1 was that turnaround was so amazing, and it's back-to-back sweeps for ILV Black. They're going to march on in playoffs. They'll have so much confidence. Teams looking at the statistics, they won't know that this was just basically a dead eMerge Charlie team. They'll think ILV Black just pulled an unthinkable victory here. And I think this will be a big statement to every other team left in the competition that ILV Black, they can do some serious damage here.
Nonetheless, it is very interesting to see how they will perform later on in this playoffs. And while we speak, let me just pull up the tournament bracket real quick if I can find it. So just give me a second. I want to update everyone who's watching what's happening on the other side of the end. Can I just find it for real quick? What is this? Where is it? It's so confusing.
Should not be on stream for all you viewers at home. I can quickly just run you through a couple of the results. In upper bracket round 1, we saw Rise Esports. They beat Cosmos Odysseum. eMerge Charlie beat RC Pluto. We watched that game. That was interesting. And then in the lower bracket, Ascension Draco took out by ILV Black, and Code 4 beating ILV Forest Green.
Interesting. Thank you for the roundup. But of course, we will soon take a 1-hour break. So while we're gonna do this break, don't forget to grab some more snacks, refill on your drink, and always just, if we've seen what has happened now, Rocket Core against eMerge, Rocket Core pulling out that upset again, beating them. It looked like eMerge would win, but then Rocket Core came out of nowhere and slapped them and won 3-4. 4-3, sorry. And while now it's, just sad for eMerge to see that they got swept. But nonetheless, I would like to take this time to thank our sponsor, Godalions, for sponsoring yet another, this season of ECC. So thank you, Godalions, once again for sponsoring this season.